The sun cast a golden glow over the quiet grove. Leaves rustled gently, carrying whispers of the morning breeze. I sat before Buddha. His eyes were steady, reflecting the tranquility of deep understanding. Around him, disciples gathered, troubled by relentless waves of thought. "Master," I said, voice tinged with uncertainty, "knowledge surrounds us in endless streams. How do we sift wisdom from distraction?" Buddha looked to the river flowing beside us. The water moved effortlessly, never resisting, carrying only what it must. His silence taught first the mind, he began, his voice calm, is like this river. It cannot hold all waters. Nor should it try. I watched the flowing currents, losing myself in their rhythm. My thoughts mirrored their movement, constant, unceasing, searching for stillness. You seek to absorb every teaching, every fragment of knowledge, Buddha continued. But the mind, when burdened, becomes murky, like disturbed waters. A disciple spoke, his voice filled with worry. Then, should we cease learning? Should we reject knowledge for clarity? Buddha smiled, shaking his head. A river does not reject the rain, but it carries only what it can without disruption. Understanding unfolded slowly within me, like morning light revealing hidden contours of the land. My breath grew steady, my thoughts calmed. How do we know what to retain and what to release? I asked, still uncertain, still grasping for direction. Buddha picked up a handful of sand, letting it sift through his fingers. The grains that remained he held with care. "What remains," he said, "is what settles naturally, without force. Wisdom stays when the mind is still enough to receive it." Silence enveloped the grove. The disciples pondered his words, looking inward, seeking that place of quiet where knowledge could rest. A gentle breeze passed through, carrying away unsettled thoughts like fallen leaves drifting across the surface of the river. The deluge of information will never cease, Buddha continued. It is not about controlling its flow, but choosing how you engage. I nodded, recognizing the weight I had carried, chasing understanding without allowing space for clarity, drowning in knowledge without grounding in wisdom. One disciple, younger than the rest, hesitated before speaking. "Master, I fear forgetting valuable lessons. How can I keep what is true?" Buddha pointed to the tree standing strong beside us. Do its roots struggle to recall nourishment, or does it take only what is needed? The disciple studied the tree. Its roots dug deep, unseen yet firm, holding only what sustained its growth. His expression softened. "Do not fear forgetting," Buddha said. "True wisdom integrates into being. It does not require grasping, only allowing." I closed my eyes, feeling the space within me, the gentle release of what no longer needed holding. Clarity emerged in stillness. When the mind is filled with noise, Buddha said, listen to silence. In quietness, the most profound truths settle. The river continued its flow, undisturbed by our presence. The trees stood, unwavering against the shifting winds. My heart slowed. Each lesson, like water, would pass through, carrying only what was essential, leaving the rest to be carried away by time. Buddha stood, his robe moving with the air, fluid yet grounded. Walk with wisdom, not burdened by knowledge, but enriched by understanding. We rose, stepping lightly upon the earth, leaving behind the weight of restless thought, embracing the clarity found in mindful perception. As I walked beside the flowing river, I understood. The mind does not conquer knowledge. It becomes part of wisdom's natural current. Another day, another lesson awaited beneath the shade of the Bodhi tree. The morning air carried the scent of damp earth. Buddha sat in quiet reflection, his presence as steady as the unmoving mountains. The disciples gathered, carrying questions heavy in their minds. A scholar approached, his robes immaculate, his eyes sharp with curiosity. He bowed deeply before speaking, his voice filled with urgency. Master, he said, I have studied countless scriptures, absorbed countless teachings, yet my mind remains restless. I seek clarity beyond knowledge. Buddha reached for the teapot before him, his hands steady as he poured its contents into the scholar's empty cup. The tea rose slowly, reaching the brim. Yet Buddha did not stop. He continued pouring, letting the tea overflow onto the ground. The scholar gasped, stepping back. Master, the cup is full. It cannot hold more. Why do you spill the tea? Buddha looked at the liquid pooling beneath them. His gaze calm, unwavering. He set the pot down, folding his hands in his lap. Your mind, he said, is like this cup. You fill it with knowledge, yet without space, no new wisdom can enter. The scholar's breath steadied. He listened, his thoughts shifting like the water settling into the earth beneath his feet. To seek understanding, Buddha continued, you must first empty yourself of excess. Wisdom cannot grow in crowded soil. A disciple stepped forward, concern shadowing his face. Master, how do we know what to release? Is knowledge not precious? Buddha picked up a single stone, holding it gently. A traveler carries only what sustains him. To hoard burdens is to hinder his journey. The disciples pondered his words, their minds stirring with recognition. The scholar lowered his head, feeling the weight of what he carried. But if I forget my studies, he said, won't I lose what is valuable? His voice trembled slightly, uncertain yet eager. Buddha gestured toward a tree standing tall beside them. Does it strain to remember the sunlight, or does it simply absorb it? The scholar watched the tree. Its roots stretched deep, unseen yet firm, holding only what nurtured its growth. To learn, Buddha said, is not to collect endlessly, but to integrate naturally. True wisdom becomes part of your being. The disciples sat in silence, reflecting on the teachings. The wind carried away unspoken thoughts, clearing the space within their minds. Buddha reached for another cup, pouring a measured amount of tea. He handed it to the scholar, his expression warm. Drink only what nourishes, he said. Not all water must be kept, nor all knowledge must be grasped. Let go, and grow. The scholar drank, feeling the warmth of the tea settle within him. His grip relaxed. His mind, too, felt lighter. Another day, another truth revealed beneath the Bodhi tree. The lesson did not demand memory. It simply remained, understood. Another day, another journey unfolded beneath the vast sky. The morning light bathed the earth in gold. The disciples walked beside Buddha. Silence stretched between them, deep and unbroken. Only the rustling leaves and birdsong remained. The air was filled with quiet understanding. A disciple, burdened by thought, spoke hesitantly. Master, we feel the need to respond to every question, every challenge. Is this necessary? Buddha paused beside an ancient tree, placing his hand on its trunk. Does the tree chase the wind, or does it stand firm? The disciple studied the swaying branches, the rooted steadiness beneath them. The answer lay before him, yet his mind still grasped. We fear appearing indifferent, another disciple said. If we do not respond, is silence ever the right path? Buddha turned his gaze toward the distant mountains, unmoved by the shifting clouds. The mountain does not answer the wind, yet it remains. The disciples absorbed his words, letting them settle within. The lesson was simple, yet its depth required patience to fully understand. Buddha lifted a leaf from the ground, tracing its delicate veins. To speak is a choice. Not every word needs answer. The disciple who first spoke hesitated. But if we do not engage, will we miss wisdom? Will our silence become ignorance? Buddha let the leaf drift from his fingers. It swayed lightly before resting upon the ground. Wisdom does not chase, it arrives. The disciples stood quietly, listening beyond sound, embracing the stillness as part of their understanding. Words were not always the path. Buddha walked forward, leading them deeper into the forest. A mind at peace does not fear stillness. It finds strength in silence. Another disciple, curious yet cautious, asked, "Master, how do we know when to speak and when to remain silent?" Buddha knelt beside the stream, dipping his hand into its cool waters. Does the stream force its course? Or does it flow? The disciple watched the water move effortlessly, shaping itself without resistance. His breath steadied. His heart found space within the quiet. Speech, Buddha continued, should be like water, given when needed, held when unnecessary, always in harmony with the moment. The disciple bowed his head, feeling the weight of unnecessary words lifting from his spirit. Silence was not absence, but presence. Another day, another lesson woven into the rhythm of existence. The disciples walked in quiet understanding, embracing the wisdom of mindful presence. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.